Hi guys, Jay Smith here, welcome to the AskGolfNut channel and welcome to Wilson Staff RB Tech Utility Iron, Driving Iron. The people that are not liking their woods, not liking their driver and want an iron that's going to be kind of replacing that idea, but it is supposed to blend in with their dyno power, also their staff side as well, and it really does very, very well blend in, because if you were to look at the staff blade and also the CB, this looks very, very close to it, just a fat version of it. So we do have a shiny back plate, which does look very, very nice. We have got it's not a massively thick top line. This is a utility iron, a decent size, low center of gravity, springy faced head. Sole thickness, yeah, a little bit thicker, shall we say, than the average staff golf club. But again, this is supposed to be lower, further back center of gravity, trying to get the golf ball in the air. It is a hollow body design. It will be to try and get as maximum ball speed and low, further back center of gravity as possible. We do have a C300 steel face. Now, C300 is generally fairly springy and very consistently springy, which is good. We have RB rib technology inside the head to try and quieten the old girl down and also bring a little bit of forgiveness in. When it comes to forgiveness, guys, I'll be whacking all over the face like I normally do to see how forgiving this thing is, and also be testing at 3 different swing speeds to see how well this works in different speed golfers' hands, different golfers' speed, whichever way it is, to see how well this works when you change speed around, because again, not every golfer swings really quick. Let's go give it a hit. We are at Linfield National, hole 8. It's a par 4, but I've chose a tee shot because a lot of people will be using these off the tee when they don't like their driver, and it's over water. So as long as I can make half decent contact, I'm going to be hitting off the deck, not off a tee, for a bit of fun, make it harder. Let's go see how this one works. Down by the golf ball, there's not a massive amount of offset there whatsoever, but the top line today does look nice considering it is a driving iron or utility iron. That might miss target a fraction. No, it's not too bad. I normally fade them, so I'm not surprised it's moving that way. Can't complain with the result though. Par for 0, face is fractionally open. That's my normal cuts that I get when it comes to one of these things. 4 mil toe, 0 mil low, really quite good. Can't complain with the strike whatsoever. 38 yards in the air and 46 degrees descent angle. That is basically me maxing out what I'm going to get from one of these. And so yes, at my speed, and that's 100 mile an hour clubhead speed, and what I'll be doing, I'll do the test at something like 75, 85 and 95 miles an hour with this to see what happens when you start moving speeds around, but working really quite well. Now, would I use one? No. Well, I possibly would do in certain circumstances, but my mainstay is going to be my hybrids. I'll go 4-3 hybrid, just because I've got more versatility in flight, and also I've got that roll and bulge on the face. I've got a little bit more forgiveness, where this is flat faced, and so if you do move around the face a little bit, you're not potentially going to get the same amount of forgiveness that you're naturally going to get from a hybrid. But for people who do not like hybrids, I can really understand why people are going to go for something like this, because again, 226 yards, not bad whatsoever. Can't complain at all. And if I hit the fairway, win, win, win. Again, same flight, not surprised. Slightly higher strike, but pretty good. Again, I'm hitting off the deck here. That's running out of fair, well, kinda. Club half is one across, face is fractionally open. Yeah, fractionally high in the face, but not bad whatsoever. 31 yards in the air, 40 degrees descent angle, 41 degrees descent angle, not bad. Of course, that's going in a little bit more flatter, 230 yards total distance. Again, it's just doing every single thing that it's designed to do. Now, of course, we have C300 steel on the face. We have that hollow body, but what does it sound like? The feel of it is surprisingly good, considering everything on this says it should sound very firecracky, but it actually doesn't. It's not soft. First of all, we'll get out there, they're definitely not soft. There are a lot of golf clubs like this that potentially sound like hybrids, that high-pitched tingy sound, of which this does not. So there is a certain amount of tech in there trying to quieten it down. It does work. Obviously, there's only a certain amount they can do when you're talking about construction of a body such as this. But absolutely, if you want to try and hit target, you want to try and, you've got those par 4s where you've got OB left and right and it's a really tight one, and of course driver, you've got no confidence in whatsoever that you can hit target, and going to something like this, you can have a bit more confidence, then you're not going to lose too much in the way of distance. You are, again, this is a 3. They do make it in the 2 iron as well. 18 degrees, I think that's got. And they do stamp on the bottom, which is always nice. So 2 iron, that is definitely a driving iron. Hand off. There's testing forgiveness now. That's low on the face. As you can see, somewhat distance drop when you hit it that low on the face. Club path, basically similar. Face to path, basically similar. However, when you see you can hit 13 millimeters low, 7 mil heel, that's definitely not a carbon copy of the previous shot. We have lost a little bit of distance. Yes, we're 23 yards difference to the shot beforehand. However, I think you would agree that that strike is somewhat different to the previous one as well. Looking at peak height of 19 yards and 32 degrees descent angle, that's not a surprise when you hit a golf ball from there. Again, normally during this kind of side of things, I'm not looking at doing forgiveness testing. That was a actual miss hit. So, but it's hit target, it's done well. It's 17.5 yards off line, which is not bad considering how bad that strike was. I'd take that from that strike all day long. That is a one hand off moment all day long. Right, let's go give this one another hit because it didn't feel very nice from there. Oh, 2 for 2. 2 for 2. Low on the face still, just middle of the face this one, not heely, just slightly low. What's that, about 11 mil? 9 mil, 9 mil low, 2 mil heel, so basically just 9 mil low slightly. Face is open slightly by 0.6 of a degree, and you're still getting that fadey shot shape, which is my classic. I generally speaking never draw a long iron ever, but 215 yards, not bad whatsoever, 28 yards in the air, and 40 degrees descent angle. So that's launching at 11.5 degrees. Let's see if I can get one up, get the golf ball going up in the air. Something generally speaking I wouldn't really do with these, but again, we'll give it a go. It could turn horribly wrong, but we'll give it a go. That's me trying to get one up in the air. You can see the increase in carry. Oh, cart pass. Here's a cart path assist. Path is slightly from the inside now as I try and change my swing dynamics to try and get the golf ball a little bit higher up. Face is actually closing, which is good for me. And 20 degrees of loft. You can see the amount of loft that I've delivered is now gone up, and we are now nearly at 40 yards in the air and 45 degrees descent angle. So it's got versatility. As long as you've got the skill sets to be able to do that yourself, it can work. It's now obviously quite a bit higher in the air peak height wise, and that's definitely going to stop on a green. And 242, 225 carries my longest yet. Okay, I wouldn't normally do that on course. That is fairly high up there. Right, let's go down now. Let's finish with a down. Before we go in to do all the three different swing speed testing and the forgiveness testing as well, when you had it, hit it all over the face to see how well this works. Right, let's see if we can get this one going low. There's the slight fade, shall we say, that I normally do, but definitely lower. Yeah, launching at 6.1 degrees. Somewhat different to the shot before. Path was slightly from the inside again, and face was fractionally open. That's why it's gone out to the right slightly, but it still hit target, you take that. And 17.9 yards in the air and 31 degrees descent angle. That is definitely different when it comes to its height. So it's versatile from a point of view of if you know how to deliver differences in loft, etc., then this will basically work very, very well. It is fairly forgiving. I've hit some weird and wonderful shots already. Feels actually quite nice for something which is hollow bodied. It's got that C300 steel face as well, so super springy. Right, let's go give this a hit all over the face. Weird spots, high toe, heel low. And also at 3 different swing speed. Let's go see how well the Wilson Staff RB Tech utility iron, stroke driving iron, gets on when you hit it 3 different swing speeds and whacked it all over the face. Let's go see how the Wilson Staff RB Tech utility iron, stroke driving iron got on when I hit 3 different swing speeds and also the forgiveness data where I hit it high toe, heel low, all those weird wonderful spots to see how well it did. So the information on the screen you can see now is ball data on top and club head data on the bottom. We've separated it into the red, yellow and the blue, 75 miles an hour, 85 miles an hour and 95 mile an hour swing speeds. So you can get an idea, depending on how fast you swing, if something's going to work for you or not. Now, for a iron, we're looking into trying to get as much peak height as we possibly can do and have as much control potentially as possible. When it comes to a utility iron, stroke driving iron, we are looking for different things. So peak height and descent angle is not necessarily, depending on what your usage is, the absolute thing to look forward to. So we've got 162 yards of carry for the 75 miles an hour, 193 for the 85 miles an hour, and 214 yards of carry for the 95 mile an hour swing speed. But you can see the total distance of the 162 to 180, 18 yards of rollout, 193 yards on the 85 mile an hour, 210 total, and 214, 226. You can see the reduction in the total distance for the 95 miles an hour. Swing speed goes up we're starting to get a little bit more peak height at 35 yards and descent angles at 44. So we're now starting to see some stopping power from the 3-iron, but it has to be swung at 95 miles an hour. Now, you saw on the sim stuff that I've just done there, you can change flight. If you are someone who delivers less loft, again, you will punch that lower and it will come in at a much more of a advantageous running down the fairway kind of trajectory. But then obviously if you're someone who hits it quite a high ball flight, you have to make the adjustments depending on your speed and also your own characteristics. But we are looking at spin rates of 2.8, 2.9, so 3,000 and 3.8. I'll be honest, there is not a lot of spin there, but then again, this is a 3-iron and they do make a 2-iron and they make a 4-iron as well. But this is the thing, when you start talking about taking speed away, you are going to see a distinct difference in spin and lower spin. And if you were to be, let's say, a 75 mile an hour swing speed and you were going to go to a 2-iron in this, no, you're not going to have a sufficient spin to keep the ball in the air, and you are going to see some reduction in distance because you haven't got that launch capability with a 2-iron being only 18 degrees, I think it is. But you can see the clubhead speed there, 75 miles an hour, 85 miles an hour, and 95 miles an hour. They're all within 10 miles an hour of each other, with the exception of the blue, the 95 miles an hour. I swung it 0.3 of a mile an hour too fast, but I think we can allow them to get away with that. Attack angle 0, 0.1, 0.6. Remember, this is a driving iron, utility iron. It's a 3-iron, it's 21 degrees. There's hardly any loft in it whatsoever. So again, if I start popping this one down at 4 degrees, like my normal 7-iron is, it's just going to go really ridiculously low. So I'm trying to take as much advantage as I can do of launch as possible. Club half moves a little bit. Again, you can see the difference whenever I move in speed from my slower to my fast, and naturally it will go slightly more from the inside when it comes to slower speed, and then slightly more outside or more neutral when I start dialing speed up. But the main thing is, you can see their face to path is 0.1, 0.3 and 0.8, so very, very small amounts, and loft within 0.3 of a degree. All of them. So we are talking apples for apples testing. These are the trajectories that would happen within reason if you keep everything the same and just change speed. Of course, we've got face impact on there as well for everyone to see. Very quickly, we'll pop over to the graphical representation. Some people can see pictures better than they can numbers, and so you can see the split of everything out. Just quickly, you can pause the video if you want to and have a little look, but again, that's just a graphical representation of what we have just been speaking about. Right, let's go get to the all-important forgiveness. So to understand how forgiving one golf club is, first of all, we need to understand how well it works out of the middle. We've got one here, 0, 0, 0 mil low, 0 mil hill, absolutely out of the screws. We have a face which is slightly open. Well, that's normal, my normal delivery, at least for a little fade. And it's going 215 yards carry at 97 miles an hour clubhead speed, so not bad whatsoever, and 1.44. 1.44 is not far off what I would get as an average driver kind of efficiency. So 1.44 is not bad whatsoever. Remember, this is not as big as a driver face. It hasn't got the potential to spring like a driver face has, but that C300 is rather good, shall we say, at springing. Let's go see how it goes from a nominal heel shot. So if you're a pattern golfer that likes to hit shots out of the heel as your normal miss, you'll be able to see how it works from this one. 2 mil low, 11 mil heel. My path was slightly from the inside and my face was, as normal, open very, very slightly, which means it has lost out to the right by 33 yards, but that's more so me to do with the fact that I can't aim straight more than anything else. 1.40, that's the most important one. We are 13 millimeters gross off of the middle, heel biased, and we've lost a little bit, but it's not too bad. Let's push it a fraction more, shall we? 19 millimeters heel, 2 mil, so 19 millimeters, that was very heely. So now that is a big heel, that is a really big heel. Path is 0 and faces, again, commonly open with me when it comes to the longer irons at least. So that's exactly the same. It's just that we are losing a little bit of efficiency now because we are nearly an inch away from the middle off the heel. So very, very, very heely. So it's doing actually pretty well. Nominal low shot, 8 mil low, 3 mil toe. That's common for me. That is a common hit for me. Slightly low, slightly toe, that kind of idea. And face is fractionally open again. Path is 0, 1.37. Again, we have now lost, what, 0.07 from an 8 mil low, and that's not amazingly brilliant, but it's honest, it's there, and that's what they did. It's acceptable when it comes to its low miss, absolutely. If we go lower than that now, 13mm low 4mm heel, now that feels horrid. I won't lie, that feels horrid. That's the ones where you get stingy fingers. Path is 0, face is fractionally open, but actually pretty good for me, only 0.7, and we're 1.35. So we're now losing 0.09, similar to the 19mm heel. Again, that is very, very low. The launch is now only 9.8, so yeah, we are compromising launch because that is a very, very thin shot. Considering how low on the face that was, it's done pretty well, and my hands have now recovered. 11mm toe, 2mm high. We have a face which is 0, 0.4 closed, well, that's a hook for me, and a 0.2 for path of very 0, 0. 16.1 degrees aloft and 1.40, pretty good. Now, again, we are talking about a face which is 0.4 degrees closed, as opposed to my commonly open face, and when you have a face which is square to a path, is always going to be slightly more efficient than a face which is open. That's just physics. You can't say that anything other than a glancing blow is going to be less efficient than a smack-on bludgeon blow. It is marginal, but it is there, so effectively looking at 1.39 most probably, so losing a little bit. But 0.05, if you make the adjustment from a 2mm toe, 11mm toe, 2mm high, which is 13mm gross, effectively half an inch off of middle, 15 yards offline at 240 yards. Absolutely, yes. Working very, very well. But the last one here, 17mm toe, 0mm low, so very, very toey, even for a golf club, which is a utility iron stroke driving iron, which is commonly slightly bigger. Path slightly from the inside and face 0.4, which is pretty square for me. 1.36. Now, that's not bad considering that is nearly 3/4 of an inch off the middle. It's doing, what's it, 0.08 from max. It's doing fine. 213 yards of carry at 225. Yes, we are losing some distance from it. Of course, that is a very toe shot. So with this Wilson Staff RB Tech utility iron stroke driving iron, I would conclude on this one. Does it perform well? Absolutely does. It performs very, very well. That C300 face is very springy and works really quite well. Depending on what you want from a driving iron stroke utility iron, if you want the versatility to be able to move it high, low and stuff like that, then absolutely. If you're more comfortable with a flat face rather than going to a fairway wood or hybrid or driver, I can absolutely, yes, agree that something like this is going to be working very, very well. And as long as you don't swing too slowly, you can go down the 2-iron on this and absolutely get some rip snorters down the fairway. When it comes to performance, I would say you can't complain whatsoever. It's the forgiveness side of things. So when it comes to big misses off heel and toe and even low as well, it's forgiving, but there are limits to it. Again, this is supposed to be more down the lines of you need to be hitting in and around middle. If you're going to hit bad shots, like big bad shots from this one, you are going to have to go down to a hybrid or a wooded head kind of idea to gain that forgiveness back. That's just the restriction of design, of physics. You can't get around that. If you want something that looks possibly one of the nicest driving iron stroke utility irons on the market, absolutely, Wilson are doing a cracking job at the moment. Hope you liked the video. If you did, go on, thumbs up. YouTube likes, so do I. Down there is a subscribe button. It's free. It's great for the channel if you could subscribe, so thank you. And next to that one is a bell icon. That's a notification bell. If you click that one, that will notify you next time I upload another video. Hope you're well. We'll see you again soon.